Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and a warm welcome if you're new, honey. So today we're going to talk about a crazy series of events that happened in Indianapolis that led to former NFL QB and Fox Sports analyst Mark Sanchez being stabbed and then arrested all in the same day. So if you're ready to get into this story, just stay tuned. So just after midnight, around 12:30 a.m. on October 4th, 2025, in downtown Indianapolis, Mark Sanchez was in the city to call a Sunday's Colts versus Raiders game for Fox Sports. Now, police ended up being dispatched to a downtown alley near West Washington Street and North Senate Avenue on reports of a disturbance. According to court and police documents, the incident began outside of a hotel's loading dock where a box truck was backed in, and that box truck belonged to a man working in commercial cooking oil recycling. Allegedly, Sanchez then approached the truck, opened up the driver's door, obviously without permission, and that's when he decided to begin having a conversation. Not before he opens this man's door. He opens it and then he starts talking to him. So they even have witnesses and surveillance video. And the two pieces of evidence that they have is suggesting that he was slurring his words and even reeked of alcohol. And allegedly, y'all know I gotta say allegedly Mark started asking this man questions like, hey, what are you doing here? It's the middle of the night. And the guy ended up telling him, hey, I just work in food delivery. I'll be out of your hair soon. Like, this is just my job. And Mark did not take that as an answer. He was like, no, you need to get out of here. And obviously at that point, the driver's very confused. He's like, I have no idea what's going on, but dude, I'm not leaving. I'm here doing a job. And that is when the former athlete is alleged to have thrown the man against the wall, shoved him to the ground, and aggressively advanced towards him. That is crazy. So in self-defense, the driver ended up trying to pepper spray Mark, but it didn't work. So once that failed, he then reportedly pulled out a knife and started stabbing Sanchez multiple times. Sanchez suffered multiple stab wounds to his upper right torso and was later found bleeding near a bar, and then he ended up being transported to a nearby hospital. Now, this driver, he's a 69-year-old man, and he also suffered a laceration to his cheek, and he was then treated. But police and prosecutors are viewing this stabbing as self-defense because, they have witnesses, like I said, and surveillance footage that corroborate exactly what the victim has stated. Now, regarding Sanchez, he was then rushed to the hospital in critical condition, even though later on it was reported that he was in stable condition, which is great because, look, he was wilding out for sure, but I don't want to hear about the death of really anyone. I just don't like hearing about stuff like that. But it's crazy because when this story first came out, there were so many people that were like, hey, we need to get these criminals under wraps. We need to get them in check because this is just getting crazy. And there was actually even a mayor who came and spoke out about this before it was announced that he was not actually a victim. He was the assailant. He was the one who started the altercation. So a lot of people had to retract their words, and a lot of people ended up accidentally telling on themselves, being a little bit racist. And for some reason, Black people got brought into the mix. I don't even understand how this happens. Like, I don't understand. But anyway, here is something that one of these people had to say. Sanchez or anyone being stabbed downtown Indy should not be a surprise. We have a ton of fatherless and armed African-American kids descending on downtown Indy every weekend. If that offends you, F off, as the chief of police, Bailey, and Rev Harrison have told you this. Now, see, I don't even understand why this was necessary, but let's go ahead and go to the next one. And before we do, if you guys know if that man, the victim, was in fact African-American, y'all let me know in the comments because as of now, I haven't seen anything that indicated what race the man was at all. Okay, so anyway, let's get on to this one. So this is a subtweet. I know most of you guys know how to navigate X, but I am still kind of like relearning this. So anyway, someone said another man listed as the victim in the police report told police he was delivering food when Sanchez told him he needed to move and couldn't park where he was. That man told police Sanchez started threatening and following him and then attacked him. The man said he first tried to use pepper spray on Sanchez, but it didn't work. He said that it was at that time he defended himself with a knife. Police noted that the man had a significant injury to the face, and Sanchez Sanchez was not cooperative with police when they first arrived on scene. And then QAA responds by saying, so Mark Sanchez, dumbass, attacked a Uber Eats driver, got pepper sprayed, stabbed, prayed for, arrested, and probably fired all on his day off. So jetty as shit he could have ever done. Now, I know that he used to play for the Jets, but I still don't fully understand the last bit of that sentence. So jetty as shit he could have ever done. I don't know what that means. If you guys know what that means, go ahead and put it down below. But anyway, back to the story at hand. So, in a surprising turn, police then arrested Mark Sanchez at the hospital for his alleged role in the altercation, and he's facing 3 misdemeanor charges. 1 is battery resulting in injury, 2 is unlawful entry of a motor vehicle, and 3 is public intoxication. Also, there was a no contact order that was issued, and it bars him from the alleged victim and prohibits him to have any possession of weapons or ammunition during this case. So, despite being under arrest, Sanchez has not yet been booked into the county jail because he still is remaining in the hospital from his injuries. What's so interesting to me is that Fox Sports is actually expressing support and asking for privacy for Sanchez and his family. However, I think that came out before everyone found out that he was the one that, was the assailant, the attacker. Since he was scheduled to broadcast today's game, the network replaced him with former QB and analyst Brady Quinn at the 11th hour. Prosecutors are stressing that the stabbing alone does not absolve Sanchez of any possible wrongdoing. They emphasize that this is an ongoing, fact-driven investigation. But a lot of people still have plenty of questions, like what even prompted Sanchez to confront the driver in the first place? And people are saying he reeked of alcohol. Now, they do say that they have video surveillance and witnesses, but we need to know for sure. I mean, was he slurring his words? Is this just hearsay? And also, will these charges rise from misdemeanors to felonies? I mean, the guy got a really big laceration on the cheek. It seems like a pretty serious injury. And then plus you have to take into account the victim's age as well. Your body slows down after a while. Healing cuts can take a lot longer, especially if they're significant. And also, I really want to know, how is this going to affect Sanchez's broadcasting career and his overall public image? Because I'm not big on the sports world, but as of now, I haven't heard anything that was really super negative about Mark Sanchez, but this takes the cake. Imagine getting stabbed and then arrested in the same day. It's giving like Friday. Remember how they're like, how you get fired on your day off? Like, how do you get arrested and stabbed in the same day? Like, oh my goodness. But anyways, guys, if there's any other updates, I will be sure to let you all know. Of course, you know how I do. I do my research. I like to dig deep. But I really just think this whole situation is crazy because on the delivery guy's side, I'm sure he never would have imagined that a night of him just going to do a couple routine stops turns into him having to physically defend himself against Mark Sanchez. Wait a minute, dude. I've seen you on TV before. You mean to tell me I'm gonna have to fuck you up right now because you are attacking me? That is absolutely insane. And for Sanchez, I felt like he was feeling some level of entitlement, because you have to feel a level of entitlement to open someone's door, their vehicle door. It doesn't belong to you, and then start questioning them and then physically assault them. That is just insane. But yeah, guys, that's the end of the video. If you made it this far, we are going to have a code word. Let's just call it Marky, okay? Code word today is going to be Marky, because Marky was tripping. Mark, what are you doing, baby? And also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. That way you're notified every time I post. In the meantime, guys, you guys be careful out here. Stay strapped. Keep a little slice and dice on you, because you may need it. You may need it against Mark Sanchez. You never know what celebrity you might have to get, okay? Okay. All right, love you. Bye.